You will never buy food or eat in an eatery, mama put, or restaurant after watching this story. There was once a popular food vendor named Maggie. Her real name was Margaret, but everyone called her Maggie because of her delicious and tasty food. She had a big shop in the city where she sold her meal. Maggie was very proud of her cooking. She always wanted to be the best cook in the whole city. Everyone praised Maggie's tasted food, and she had many customers coming from every part of the city, including children, women, and especially married men. There was a strange secret behind Maggie's cooking. Whenever a married man tasted her food, they never wanted to eat their wife's meal at home again. They all gather every day at Maggie's restaurant to eat her food. Almost all the married men in the city preferred Maggie's food over their wife's cooking. Most times, when their wives served them food at home, they would refuse to eat, saying it wasn't as delicious as Maggie's meal. Some wealthy men dressed in agbada would get down from their cars and join the queue at Maggie's restaurant. Bankers in their suits would stand in line, carrying plates to buy food from her. In the city, married men no longer ate their wife's food. They preferred Maggie's meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, causing a lot of misunderstandings in many homes. The men would even tell their wives to go and learn how to cook for Maggie because they couldn't understand why her food was so tasty and delicious. The wives of these married men couldn't take it any longer. They decided to meet and discuss what they could do to bring their husband back to them and make them eat their food again. They gathered at the city square, asking each other for solutions. One woman said, "What do you think we can do, my fellow women? I think we should find out what Maggie is using in her food that make our husband stop eating us." Another woman suggested that Maggie might have a secret ingredient and they should spy on her. After talking for a while, they decided that spying wasn't the answer. Instead, they agreed to go to Maggie's restaurant and humbly beg her to stop serving their husband whenever they visited. They all agreed and headed to Maggie's restaurant. They started speaking to Maggie one after another. One of the women said, "Maggie, please, we are here to beg you. We know you are the best cook in the city. We are not doubting that, but please, we are begging you to stop serving our husband when they come to your restaurant. You can direct them back home to eat our food instead. Our husband no longer eats at home and is halting our marriages. We have come to you as women to ask for your help." Maggie responded, "What do you mean by that? Are you saying I chase away all my customers just so your husband can eat in your homes? Did I tell you not to know how to cook? Did I drag your husband to my restaurant to eat my food? Please, if you don't have nothing meaningful to say, leave my restaurant. I'm very busy." The women continued to plead, but Maggie chased them away, telling them to find a way to keep their husband and not to come back to disturb her again. The women left Maggie's restaurant, feeling frustrated and disappointed. They didn't know what else to do, so they returned home, hoping that one day the secret behind Maggie's food would be revealed and their husband would come back to them. Maggie's food's business continued to flourish, with more and more customers streaming in and out. Almost every man in the city gathered at her restaurants daily. Rich men in Agbada would get down from their cars, holding the plates, and even watch them at Maggie's restaurant. One particular married woman named Esther, whose marriage was less than 4 months old, started having problems at home. Her husband, after tasting Maggie's food for the first time, stopped eating Esther's cooking altogether. Esther was worried and decided to visit her father to tell him everything. Esther's father was a powerful spiritualist who had the ability to see beyond what others could. Esther said to herself, "I can't take this anymore. My marriage is not even 4 months old, and my husband has already stopped eating my food. I will talk to my father to help me." When Esther arrived at her father's house, she said, "Daddy, I am not happy. My husband no longer eats my food. There is a popular food vendor in our street, and my husband now prefers her food over mine. It's causing big problem in my marriage, Daddy. Please help me." Esther's father said, "Don't worry, my daughter. I will handle this." He immediately consulted the oracle and saw that Maggie was a difficult case. He decided to visit the restaurant himself. When he arrived at Maggie's restaurant, he immediately locked eyes with Maggie, who smiled knowingly. Maggie said to Esther's father, "Baba, you are welcome to my restaurant. You are just in time for a special treat. My food is the most delicious in the city." Maggie held a bowl of her food, and Esther's father's stomach growled with hunger. The smell was tempting, but he knew better than to accept her offer. Esther's father said, "You look busy. I need to speak with you." Maggie, still smiling, said, "Of course, Baba. I'm always happy to help. But first, let me offer you a bowl of my delicious food. Once you taste it, you will never be the same again." Baba replied, "The reason I'm here is for you to confess. Maggie, you know what you have been doing in this city. I am here to make sure your secret is exposed. If you don't confess now, you will regret it." Maggie became defensive. "I don't know what you are talking about. All I do in my restaurant is to sell delicious food. I'm sure you have heard about me, so I don't know what you are really implying. Don't come here to spoil my business. If you want to eat, eat. If not, leave." Esther's father said, "Maggie, this is my last warning. You are causing so much pain in marriages through your food. Men no longer eat their wife's meal. Confess now, or I will make it public." Maggie snapped back, "You are just being paranoid, old man. What is all this nonsense about holding people's husband? Did I tell their wife not to know how to cook? I don't know what you are talking about." Seeing her stubbornness, Esther's father silently made a spiritual incantation and touched Maggie. Immediately, she began to scream, "I'm sorry. I will confess. I will confess." Maggie confessed, "I have been using my menstrual flow in my cooking to attract married men to like only my food." She began to narrate her story. "A long time ago, I was in my late 30s looking for a husband. Every suitor who came to me turned me down because of my size. The younger slim girls in the city mocked me. The worst was when a suitor came to ask for my hand in marriage, but suddenly he chose a slim girl over me. The villagers support his choice and mock me, saying I was cursed and will never find a husband. That's when I decided to visit a spiritualist man. He told me to use my menstrual fluid in a local pot and add it to my cooking every day. Since then, any married man who ate my food never wants his wife's food again. After confessing, Maggie begged for forgiveness, but the people started stoning her. Her restaurant was shut down and she was banned. Thanks for watching. Do you find this story interesting? Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe for more interesting stories.